My name is Jerome, aka JCJ. I'm a YouTuber and I'm also an entrepreneur as well.
Okay.
And I'm coming to Uganda to help, with resources and to also help build some current NGOs that are currently in function and real estate as well.
Now, I think this is our topic that young people out there would be most interested in, but also the older generation. We're already live on our Facebook page, RestTV. Please tune in, invite friends to be a part of the show, and let's learn from Jerome today. Now, how long have you been in Uganda? Or when did you come to Uganda?
Okay, so I've been in Africa as a whole now for 6 months, but I've been in Uganda for about 3 months.
Okay.
And the real purpose for me here is to make sure that I'm able to make an impact and to make a significant difference with gathering different investors in America to Uganda.
How do you plan on doing this? Or have you already started on this?
Mm-hmm.
How has it been working, and how do you plan to, get Ugandans to knowing what you do?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. So the way that I plan to do that is to kind of network with other investors, definitely through marketing, YouTube. I'm also going to be doing some traveling as well, to working with different people here that want to bring investors over to see potential opportunities for growth, like such as agriculture, into the music scene, and also real estate as well. Uganda has an abundance of resources out here, and it's really important that people elsewhere, especially blacks in the diaspora, are aware of them, because a lot of black Americans are not even really aware of the opportunities that kind of exist out here. So I've been also working with 2 NGOs in particular.
Okay.
One is a school that works with disadvantaged youth.
Okay.
And so the goal with that one is to work with the school to make sure that we're able to get sponsors for the kids, so they can pay for their school fees.
Okay.
And it goes from, I'm going to speak from American terms, it goes from kindergarten to college, that the sponsors are able to sponsor them. But I know you guys call them different things here and so forth. So we plan to get more sponsors for the kids.
Yeah.
And I'm also working with another NGO. This one is a favorite of mine and something that I'm very excited about. It's called the God Lenders Club. The God Lenders Club. And it's based in Mukono, Uganda. Okay. And it's a church that helps people with disabilities in Uganda. And the goal is to make sure that we're able to promote, the need for helping people with disabilities in Uganda and building more programs, and also having black Americans invest here as well.
Okay, so you've mentioned you've been in other African countries.
Yeah.
Those are?
Ghana, so I'm going to need a moment. Ghana, Tanzania, Kenya, Rwanda, Ethiopia, and of course, Uganda.
Okay, now these other countries that you've been at, is this the same thing you've been doing in those other countries?
No. So it is something that I do want to eventually do in those countries. But I actually did my DNA, and I also did a genogram, and I discovered that some of my lineage is actually from Ghana and also Mali.
Okay.
However, I feel that Uganda in particular is a really gem, and it's a diamond in the ground, because Uganda has a lot of untapped resources.
Okay. Unlike
Ghana, that there's a lot of black Americans already in Ghana that have lineage there, from West Africa, the transatlantic slave trade. Their great-great-great-grandparents come from Ghana. So they have an invested interest in going to Ghana and wanting to build up Ghana. Okay. But Uganda doesn't really have that type of sense of excitement in black America. And so when I came here to Uganda, I saw a need for resources and also an opportunity.
Okay.
And I really love the people of Uganda, who are very welcoming. And so that's why I kind of picked Uganda to focus on first.
Okay, so do you work with a group of people, or this is your initiative?
It's a mixture of both. So the NGOs, I'm partnering up with them, the 2 NGOs in particular. The God Lenders Club, right now we're about to start a fundraiser that we're going to try to get, sponsors, people to help people with disabilities, and it's based in Mukono, the God Lenders Club. And as far as the things in America, right now we're kind of situating the situation. So I do have my own LLC, my own business, JCJ Ambition Enterprises. You can actually go onto my website, www.jcjambitionenterprises.com. And I'm networking with other entrepreneurs in New York in particular to kind of invest out here.
So now, the NGOs you're working with, who picks those? Who picks them up, and like, do you just come out and look at an organization and be like, I want to work with you, or you know, do you come plan that you're going to work with this particular organization?
Great question again. So I kind of came here on the fly, and I was just networking with different NGOs here. And something that I love about the NGOs in Uganda in particular, unlike Ghana and Kenya, is that there's no big backing behind them, in particular, big backing from the West. They're kind of like by themselves, solo, and looking to work with other people. And I see that there's a need for Black Americans to kind of get more involved on the continent. You know, here on the continent with business, you have other people of different persuasions like Indians, Chinese, you know, different types of other people. And there's not really a heavy presence of Black Americans who are in a position to really do things out here. I really don't see certain things owned out here by Black Americans. So forget about, you know, the Pan-African sentiment, even though I do consider myself Pan-African. There's an opportunity to make money out here. And that's why it's so important for Black Americans to get involved in Uganda. So I came here on the fly, and I noticed that there was an opportunity to really work with NGOs that kind of spoke to my heart. So I picked them while I was here.
Okay. Now, it's an exciting thing you say that you don't see a lot of Black Americans, you know, getting involved in things, you know, in Uganda. And even us, Ugandans, we are more excited about the Muzungus, the white skin. And like you said, Black Americans are not really involved. Now, you come out here to start something as this, which is very good, and which I think is going to help so many Ugandans. Where do you get this heart from? Yes, you've mentioned a few things, but also, why do you think so many Black Americans don't take it as a point to get involved in the issues in African countries?
First, I want to say that I'm pro-Black and I'm Pan-African.
Okay.
And then secondly, I want to add that I do think that a lot of Black Americans are interested in Africa. However, there's no tangibles here. So for example, they may have a lineage here, they may have a DNA from here, but they're considered like the Muzungus. So when they come over here, like a lot of Ugandans don't necessarily look at them as their brothers and sisters, and it's an unfortunate thing. I'm being real right now to the audience. And so the Muzungus will come over here, and not only do they have more resources, but they're kind of looked at in a holy light, you know, in a higher way. When the Black Americans come here, they're looked at as a Muzungu instead of as a brother, as someone who kind of comes from Africa generations ago. And that's where the conflict is. And so I think us coming here and networking, building relationships, and also understanding at the end of the day, because I've been around the world, at the end of the day, they look at us all as Black. And so Black Americans coming over here and being able to invest and so forth is going to really build a bridge from Black America to Africa, and being able to funnel the resources where we can also make a profit as entrepreneurs and help other fellow Black people.
Okay, that's really good. Now, there's something you mentioned when I asked a question. I don't know if you really gave me an answer, if the audience got it, but do you have like a society, people you are with, Black Americans that are behind you doing this? And also, is it just you that is in Uganda to find out what is happening so you can tell them what's, or you have a group that is here with you?
Okay, so this is a solo mission for now. However, back in the States, I do have a group of entrepreneurs that I'm working with, in particular New York, that we're looking out here to make certain investments and sponsorships and so forth. So as of now, this trip is completely funded by me, and I'm the one kind of building the relationships. So I'm the conduit, I'm the middleman to the resources back in the States. Now, a lot of Black Americans' concerns are that they're not able to get anything in return, and they don't necessarily feel the love from Africans. And that's where I think that we all need to work on to be able to build that bridge. I want to answer one more question that you asked me earlier. Where do I come from with the heart for this? At the end of the days, I see other people of other persuasion contributing to Africa, but let's not forget who kind of took away from Africa as well. At the end of the day, as Black Americans with more resources, more money, and different contacts, I think it's important for us to make an impact on the continent just as everyone else, and to pursue entrepreneurship and build up Africa.
Okay, now someone out there that is watching the show right now is hearing what you are saying, and they're like, I want to get involved in what they do. I want to partner with them. Or I have children that need sponsorship. How do I get to him? Where do I find him? So how do you pick these children who you want to sponsor, you want to get sponsors for? Can anyone come through and get sponsorship?
So for now, we're kind of focusing on the 2 NGOs, the school and also the God Lenders Club. We want to make a concentrated effort to build up their resources, to buy land and also build up other schools, and also to build a building for people with disabilities to live in, that so they have access to resources that exist in the West for people with disabilities. However, if you're truly in a situation and you're looking for sponsorship, you can reach me at www.jcj.ambition enterprises, and you can also contact me on YouTube, JCJ Ambition as well.
You want to say that again? So
absolutely. So it's www.jcjambitionenterprises.com, and also the YouTube is JCJ Ambition. You can just type that in YouTube and you can find me. And we're working brick by brick to make sure that we're able to make an impact here as Black Americans and unite the African diaspora as one.
Okay, so how long do you plan on doing this? Do you have like a specific period of time that you've set for this to work, and after it's done, that's it? Or how long do you plan on doing this in Uganda?
That's a great question. You asked some great questions. So as far as me personally, I actually plan on relocating to Uganda in 2022. So I'm going to be here on the ground actually helping build these NGOs for life. This is a passion project of mine, and I expect for it to grow and for us to meet our goals and the tangibles. But as far as the sponsors are concerned, this is a 10-year plan that we all have as far as real estate, to buy land, and please forgive me, in places like Gayaza and also Makuno, of course. We're looking in places that the land is still pretty cheap, where we can buy on a massive land, but it's still close to Kampala, and there's room for growth and so forth where we can invest. And so that's like a 10-year plan and so forth. But I plan on being active within these NGOs and building my company here, definitely.
You plan on relocating to Uganda?
Yes.
Back in the States, do you have family?
Yes.
You plan to bring them with you here?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have a family, but I don't have a family. I don't have kids. I'm not married. Ladies, if I'm single, if you're out there, you know, I'll let your boy.
Okay, so you had it from him,
yes,
whoever that is watching out there. Yes. Well, that's a very good thing that you say.
Absolutely.
You plan on relocate, because I think usually when you're on the ground, you know exactly what is going on, and you know what to get into, because I've seen so many people come and do things here, and they'll leave different people take on the work.
Absolutely.
But they never get to know what is going on, and so many times there are lies in between, and they will never get to know because they're not on ground. So just a little bit to speak into that for people that start something and you know, let other people take on, yet they were the brain behind this thing.
Can I talk to that real quick?
Yes.
So there's bad people everywhere, but I'm going to just speak on my experience of bad people in Uganda. There's people that will take advantage of you with building stuff, overcharge you, do different things, be corrupt and so forth. And so for me, being on site and being here is super important. As far as building certain things and, you know, delivering certain resources, because my partners don't want to hear any excuses, you know. Certain people don't want to hear, you know, that you misplaced and gave this person and trusted them and so forth. So for me, being here is super important.
Okay, so do you like have a location, like an office here in Uganda?
No, not as of yet, but that is something that I plan on establishing in 2022.
Okay, so everyone that wants to find you, it's on the...
Online, on my website, absolutely.
Okay, so when do you plan on getting an office?
Good question. We'll see. It's sometime in 2022. I'm kind of hunting down some places right now.
Okay, now, you mentioned a book. Did you write a book? Or...
Yes.
Okay, let's go straight into that. What's the book about?
Okay.
And what do you intend to let the people know?
Absolutely. So the book is going to have printed copies. It's going to have a printed copy version next year in 2021. But currently right now, it's only on Amazon.
Okay.
So you can look up Jerome Joyce. You can put that into any Amazon and you should be able to order the book. Now, for my friends in East Africa, unfortunately, it is only available in West Africa right now. But we are working to make it available in East Africa through another outlet and so forth. So the book is called Can't Tell Me Nothing, and it's career development information for the hip-hop generation. Once again, Can't Tell Me Nothing, career development information for the hip-hop generation. And the book focuses on the hip-hop generation, which is like me, you, like the younger folks that listen to reggae, dancehall, and hip-hop music. They may be influenced by negative stereotypes in the music. And the goal of the book is to talk about professional development and how to help people with reaching their career goals. And that's what I was able to do in the States in my career.
Okay, that's really good. So you say, where can they get the book again?
They can get the book on Amazon for now, and we are working to make sure that it's available to my East African family. But for my American friends, I'm going to share this also to my American friends and the West African family. You can reach it on Amazon.com, and you should be able to order the ebook, and it will be delivered in other outlets next year.
So it feels like, for me, what you intend to do here in Uganda is diverse. It's not just one thing, but you intend to go through different issues of life that people go through, but also tackle different areas, not just, because I've seen so many people come and they just want to focus on one thing and that's it. So why go through all the different, why not one thing? Why the different things?
So I do want to say that we're focused on 2 NGOs in particular for now. But the reason why we're focused on different things is because the investors, they want to know how they can make money, right?
Okay.
And so the real estate market is really what I'm going to help assist them with as far as Black American investment in Uganda. However, my passion project are the 2 NGOs that we spoke about in particular.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I also plan to open up a recruiting staffing agency where we're able to hire people in Uganda through American and British companies. So that's kind of what I did back in the States. I was working as a vocational rehabilitation counselor and also a recruiter. And so I plan to bring those hard skills to the continent and utilize it to help build up Uganda as well.
Okay, so yes, I understand there are these NGOs, but there are different issues you are tackling with the NGOs.
Okay, yes.
Why not focus on just one thing? But yes, I understand you say the investors want to know where business is.
Absolutely.
But you know why? I feel like each issue has got its own issues.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So why do you want to go into all?
Okay, so let's talk about the 2 in particular since it's 2 NGOs.
Yes.
So the first NGO is helping people with disabilities, and that's very close to my heart because I'm a certified vocational rehabilitation counselor. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor, and I used to work with the military, with people with disability, veterans, and so forth. So it's very close to my heart to help assist people with disabilities. As far as the school, that became a passion project through a friend that I met here. And then when I saw the students and I saw the lack of resources there at the schools, I said, you know what, I can help out here too. So that wasn't something that I initially was looking to do, but it's just something that kind of fell into my lap. And I feel by the grace of God that I'm here to make a difference in those 2 issues.
Okay, wow, that's a really, really good thing. And I hope Ugandans, we can, pick this up now. Someone out there would want to know, or I would also want to know, you already have people in Uganda, like people that you've given positions to work with you here in Uganda, or are you looking out for people to work with you?
So I want to say this. We will be hiring soon, but not right now. Right now, I have people who are actually just volunteering their time and efforts to help assist me with all of this. But the goal is to make sure that I'm here and so forth. So I want to be able to relocate and be here permanently before I hire, because I want to be able to see on a daily basis of what people are doing and how things are moving along. But if you're interested in volunteering or interning, as of now, this is an LLC. It's an established company, JCJ Ambition Enterprises. Feel free to go to my website, www.jcjambitionenterprises.com, and you will see opportunities for internships there. You can communicate through the contact button, and eventually you will see jobs there if you're interested in any of the sectors that we spoke about today.
Okay, now this thing, people's mindsets, so many times people hear such things and really they don't, add anything to them, they'll just hear it and that's it. You talked of the book that you wrote. So many times they've said if you want to hide information from Africans, put it in a book.
That's black people, period. They say that. Okay.
Yeah, put it in a book and
yeah.
they'll never get to know what it's all about. Now, how are you going to be able to change people's mindsets to be able to follow through with what you intend to do here in Uganda? Because I know with this kind of work, you actually need people.
Absolutely.
You need to work with people. So how are you going to work on that? Get them out of, that thinking of it can't work or we can't get involved in that. Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, I would rather not work with someone that thinks like that. Like for me, hope is very important. And what's more important than hope is ambition, persistence, and determination. So you have to want better for your own country, you have to want better for yourself, and you have to want better for the future of the kids and the next generation. And to do that, you kind of have to have a mindset of where you want to accomplish certain goals. And so Uganda has a need for helping people with disabilities. There's a lack of resources, and I've literally seen a woman who used the outhouse outside and she has no legs and she has to crawl using her hands in the outhouse to use the restroom, right?
Yeah.
So there's a need for resources, and we know that. The goal is to work with people that are looking to help you and also looking to help the greater community. And that's the type of people that I want to work with and be able to help Uganda and build it a better nation. But it's hard to do what you said. Like some people are just like, condescending, and some people negative, and they don't think better or they don't think positive for the future of the generation. And that's unfortunate.
Exactly, because you say you wouldn't want to work with such people, but sometimes when they come, you can't know that there are these kinds of people.
That's true.
It's until they're on the job and you notice that so and so is not for this.
Yes.
So sometimes you just really, really never get to know who a person is until they're on ground and you can see what they're able to do. Now, a person that is watching out there and they're feeling like, yes, the investors you're working with want to invest in Uganda. A person who is watching and they're thinking this is a way for them to probably exploit or because not so many people that come to do stuff here in Uganda have the mind to also invest.
Yes.
They just come to help sponsor kids, just come to help with organizations, and that's it. So, and I know, of course, there are some that have invested here in the country, but a person out there that is feeling like, what if this is
an
exploitation? They're just coming to get from us and not really, and just give us a little thing and that's it. Like someone who feels like you are getting more than.
Let's talk about that. Okay, so I think, are we being real here?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so let's keep it real. I've seen firsthand NGOs that I visited that are taking advantage already of the Ugandan people and exploiting them and taking the resources and the money. They're getting donations in bulk, and then what they're doing is giving very little to the people, right?
Yeah.
Uganda has a strong need for NGOs. I think coming from an altruistic perspective and also someone who truly feels that they want to make a difference is very important. Now for me, I can say that's definitely me, because I'm working for free with these NGOs. I'm actually losing money in some cases where I'm donating and sponsoring and getting other people and marketing and so forth. So I'm losing dollars and shillings and so forth at the end of the day. But on a full note, as far as the investors and so forth, that's what business is about if we're keeping it real. It's about making a profit at the end of the day. But I think what you can have is compassionate capitalism, where you're still making money, but you're still giving back as well too. You're not just taking. And I spoke about those other people. That's really what they're doing, what I see here, because there's almost nothing owned by bulk by the people of Uganda from what I've seen, right? And so Black Americans looking to invest here, I think from the first perspective, especially if they're pro-Black, then you know that they're coming from a Black empowerment perspective to help other Black people, right? They're coming from a race perspective and also to help other Black people. So it's different compared to an English-British group of investors that are coming here, and they don't necessarily have any altruistic value. They're not coming from a perspective of where they really feel a connection to the people we do feel a connection to the people. When I come to Uganda, I do feel a connection to the people. I see a woman that looks like my aunt. I see my cousins in the streets. I see people that look like me. And so I feel a certain type of integrity that I must hold and a responsibility to that when I'm investing here and also when I'm developing an NGO to help the people sincerely.
Okay, so is this initiative pro-Black American, or because I feel like if an English or British person out there would want to be a part of it, are they not allowed to be a part of it? Is it just for Black Americans?
I'm glad that you asked that, and I'm also going to touch on a prior question that you just said.
Okay.
So they're allowed to help, assist, and so forth as well. We welcome Mzungu sponsors and investors. We absolutely do.
Yeah.
JCJ and Vision Enterprises, we absolutely do. However, the goal is to showcase Black Americans coming together to create entrepreneurship and opportunities in Uganda. The goal is to showcase Black Americans that are uniting to make that concentrated effort. So make no mistake, we're the ones that started it out, the group, you know, whether it's JCJ Ambition Enterprises or whether it's my other friends out in New York, we're coming together as a collective, but we welcome other sponsors because it's business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But however, it's just the objective and the people who are pushing the effort are definitely Black Americans coming to make a difference here. Now, I want to touch on something real quick. You mentioned earlier how Ugandans are sometimes excited by Mzungus and stuff, which is unfortunate, by the way.
Yeah,
they should be more excited to see other people that look like them, that are pro-Black, that are Pan-African and want to build unity within the diaspora of Africans in the world. And that's really what the goal of this all is.
Okay. Wow. So that's very important, because I wanted to know if, because I know there are Mzungus or English or British people that are watching the show and really have the heart for Africa, have the heart for Uganda, and they would want to partner with you. But I like what you mentioned, that we are the ones that started this.
Absolutely.
Because so many times I know Africans or Ugandans, I don't know if because we are less privileged, we'll start up something, but if a Mzungu came to pick it on, it will feel like it's them that started it.
Absolutely.
So are you mentioning that so that if, when they come on board, it doesn't feel like they started it?
Yeah, no, partners.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
they're partners.
they are partners, and that's it. So this is an initiative of the Black Americans.
Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
still on that very, very subject that we are on, Black Americans that are out who have the hearts for, you know, to invest in Uganda and in African countries. This has been on for some time. Why now? Someone would want to know why now. Why? Okay, I know. I don't know if the passion has been there since then.
Yeah, I think it has, but go ahead though.
If the passion has been there since then, but why now? Why at such a season?
Okay, so from my understanding, this was rumored. I heard that a group of Black Americans, but they're very secretive, but a group of Black Americans actually invested $300 million in Uganda a year ago. Actually, you can look this up on, I forget the show, but it's the Dr. Mumbi. Dr. Mumbi, she talked about it as well too on her YouTube channel, and also was on different, so Google Black Americans donating $300 million to Uganda and see what pops up and so forth. Now, I'm not verifying that and so forth because it was like a secretive collective investment group, but I'm saying that there's rumors of Black Americans always doing stuff like this.
Okay.
The British have always had a closer connection because of the colonial connection and so forth. So when you see Mzungu investors and also Germans and Italians and Swedish, I see those are primarily the investors here from outside. They're closer to Uganda than America is. Like, a flight from New York is 19 hours, right? And it's only 6 hours to get to Ghana. So there's a reason why more Black Americans are investing in Ghana, because of their lineage and also because it's closer and other reasons. So that's why there's a lack of Black American investors in Uganda, because of the distance. Like, it's 19 hours straight just to get here and so forth. So that plays a huge role. But I would say there's passion as far as within the pro-Black community in America to really utilize their resources in an effective way. But at the end of the day, people want tangibles too. We don't want to come here and be treated as the Mzungus. And unfortunately, that's really what happened, because for a Black American to invest here, they have to have $100,000 just liquid and so forth to invest there. They're treated just as any other investor. They're not treated any more special. And so there's ways that you can go about that I want to speak to your audience super quick.
Okay.
Where you can invest through Kenya and you can have a company where a national director owns 30% of the company, and then you just have a sister company over here. So you do not need to have $100,000 capital as the government says. And you and I both know, even if you wanted to do business in Uganda, wink, wink, you can still do business in Uganda.
Yeah.
But to do it the legal way, you can get the company through Kenya, small business, have a national director own 30% of it, have certain provisions in that contract, have a sister company here, and still do business.
Okay, you've mentioned the word legal. Now, you coming here to do this, have you like met the legal system here?
Absolutely.
And have you worked through things, paperwork, to see that this is legal to be here in Uganda?
So I've had some legal consultations, which have been very productive to have a better idea. I do have a Kenyan lawyer, but the lawyer here gives me a better idea of what's going on site and so forth to help assist me with the paperwork and going through the process. And I would say that it's a smooth process if you have the funds and the resources. But that's what it boils down to. A lot of also Black Americans don't have certain resources to invest in full here. As we know, through colonialism and slavery, the Mzungu has more resources, period. And so they're able to invest at a higher rate than Black Americans can traditionally. However, to answer your question, why are certain things shifting, is because more Black Americans are gathering wealth. They're building wealth through forex trading, whether it's trading period stock. They're building wealth through real estate. They're building wealth through entrepreneurship, building apps and different things, or through real estate like myself. And so they're able to then take their funds and, bring it here to Uganda. And in the past, we have to keep in mind, segregation was only, 50 years ago and so forth. So Black Americans are now only catching up to be able to compete with American Mzungus to invest in Uganda and other places.
Okay, so you that is watching the show right now, that's been thinking, oh, this might be a scam. It is not. He has actually met the legal system of Uganda, and they're in the know of what is going on, of what is happening. So don't be scared. Please hit him up and know how you can partner with him or how you can work hand in hand with him. Now, something else, so many things with Black Americans, English and British people coming to Uganda to invest or work with Ugandans. There's an issue of transparency that exists around there, because now we Ugandans know exactly what is going on here, and you are not so much in the know of certain things. It is from what we tell you, you get to know what it's all about. Now, there's issues with money. When money comes through, I think so many people have issues with money. When they see money coming through and they would want to, tell you lies for the money to, keep coming. Because I know of an organization where Muzungus or British or English people send money, and the company or the organization cuts like 60% of what, let's say, a child is meant to get. How are you going to?
Great question. So, first of all, let me say this. I don't think any Ugandans thinking certain things are a scam. First of all, let me make this clear. I'm not asking for anyone's money right now anyway. Okay. I'm asking for people to volunteer and help assist with the NGOs, building the development, and just kind of gathering the force and the energy behind the real estate projects that we do have. We don't have jobs currently right now, but we will in the future. Okay. But to answer your question and so forth, I've met NGO people, actually Ugandans themselves, who have tons of NGOs who actually take the money from these NGOs from overseas, from Americans and also British. So you asked me earlier, why did I pick these two places? Because they were transparent. They were able to show me paperwork and kind of speak from a perspective where I believe them and actually feel that they're actually there for the people themselves. That's not common, right? Yeah. There's a lot of people, Ugandans and Mzungus, who do the same thing here in Uganda. I think the major part of it is to build a collective, to build an objective and a mission that's altruistic and also beneficial to the people, and also something transparent that showcases the progress to any donors or sponsors. So for example, when you have different projects showing videos, showing the money that's donated, where it's going to, For the school in particular, what we're doing is when someone sponsors the kids and so forth, they can meet with the kids actually in person once a year, and the kids will write them 2 letters and so forth to let them know what's going on, where's the money going, and things of that nature. So it's very hard to kind of pinpoint exactly always where the money's going down to the last shilling, but it's something that you really have to put a lot of trust in what the people who are kind of running the situation, what they want to accomplish. Because I've seen Ugandans and people outside doing the same thing, stealing money from the NGOs, and it's unfortunate.
Just to emphasize more on that point, for anyone who is watching who feels like you are just here to work with any organization, just to let them know what kind of people you're actually out here to work with. Yes, you've mentioned a very important thing, those that are transparent and are able to give you paperwork, and you know exactly what they do. But to emphasize more on that point, for someone who feels like, well, I have this organization I'm starting up, so I'll hit them up and they'll help me with it. Just to tell them the kind of people you're out here to work with.
I think someone who is able to showcase what they do, and a big part of that, I'm going to speak in general for this, because Black Americans in particular who are looking to make a difference, they're not able to do the same thing with American Red Cross, because they donate and they don't know where their money goes. The CEO makes $1 million for American Red Cross, and then the people barely get anything, right? So what we want to see is really the person who's running the corporation or the NGO, where do they live? What are they doing? What are they doing with themselves and so forth? Are they in it just for the money of how much money they can make from potential NGOs? They want to meet the population that we're looking to help. So for me, it was people with disabilities, meeting the veterans here, the Ugandan veterans, and seeing their situation, meeting single mothers that could barely afford anything for their kids and that need certain resources. So that's what spoke to my heart. And the transparency is the paperwork. Also, being able to offer volunteer visas, NGO visas to people outside, because that shows whether you're legitimate, because America screens those when someone comes over. And then also seeing where the money goes, showing progress, you know, weekly progress of what you're able to accomplish from the donations as well.
Lastly from me, Jerome, have you also done this in the States? Is there a need for you to even invest in the States, or the need is more in these African countries?
Let me say this first and foremost. I'm a proud Black American. Okay. I'm a proud Black American. However, I love Africa as well. So I have done this in America. There's actually a school, XYAYX Institute, and it's located in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And I donate to that school in particular. I also donate to numerous other organizations like the NAACP and other Black organizations that help assist Black Americans, in particular, Black Americans in need. They are poor Black Americans in America for sure. So I have definitely helped assist them in the past. However, I feel I could make a greater difference here in Uganda, because not only is the need there, but unlike Ghana and Kenya, there are certain organizations that don't necessarily exist here, and they do exist in those countries. And so I feel like I can make a bigger difference here.
Okay. Well, so finally, in I don't know what you have to say finally with all that you have mentioned and said. Finally, for people to catch something, or probably someone has just joined the show, something they need to know about what you intend to do in Uganda. In your final remarks,
thank you so much.
Tell us.
Thanks so much. All right. So once again, to people just joining in, my name is Jerome, aka JCJ. I have a YouTube channel, JCJ Ambition, and I also have a book, Can't Tell Me Nothing, Career Development Information for the Hip Hop Generation. And what I'm looking to do is to work with these two NGOs out here, the Godlanders Club and also the school that's based in Gayaza. And we're looking to just eventually develop the sponsorship there and make sure that we can help assist the kids and also people with disabilities. As far as the real estate opportunities, I plan to help assist people in Uganda by offering jobs once these real estate opportunities kind of develop and we're able to get some paperwork in order. You can follow my website, www.jcjambitionenterprises.com, for updates. And also you can just check my YouTube channel for any updates as well. And that's what I'm looking to accomplish here. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting Black Americans that want to invest in Uganda and make a difference.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Now, We still have Jerome with us. He's in Uganda for some time, like he said. And I think if you allow, we can come down and see the kind of work you do, you know, on ground, and just let people in the know of not just what you are saying, but what is actually being done right now.
Absolutely.
So if you allow, we can come through and see how that goes, but also to help our audience know exactly what you are saying.
That's awesome, and I look forward to that opportunity, and I'm really grateful for it as well. Thank you guys so much for supporting. And once again, I want to let my fellow people know, my pro-Black people know that Black Americans do invest, and we're looking to invest in Uganda.
Okay, so Black Americans do invest, and they are looking out to do this in Uganda. If you want to partner with them, he just gave you the website that you need to follow. So follow through, and let's partner together, and let's do this together. Now, thank you so much for being a part of RestTV. Thank you so much for always watching RestTV and for always watching the wonderful programs that we bring to you. Now, keep watching RestTV. Thank you so much for being a part of the takeoff. From me and Jerome, good morning. We love you.
The takeoff.
Thank you guys. That was good, man. Good questions. She did that on